Bengkulu, yeah, and so on. Well, it's our pleasure to have all of you here in this second series of general lecture. We are really appreciate you having some time out with us in joining this virtual general lecture. So we hope you can enjoy this virtual general lecture with the theme running to publication to increase the body of knowledge. On the first series of virtual general lecture, I was the master of ceremony. So today, allow me to guide the second series as well. So maybe some of you have known me then. I'm Dian Yuli Wijayanti. It is an honor for me to be with you in this visiting professor program of World Class University, Universitas Diponegoro on Wednesday, November the 4th, 2020. Ladies and gentlemen, like always, before we start the virtual general lecture, the schedule of this event for today are, the first is opening. Maybe I will show you the schedule on the screen. Wait for me. Yeah. Yes, this is the schedule of the virtual general lecture for today. First is opening. In the opening, we will hear the national anthem of Indonesia Raya and Undip March song. And then there will be a speech from the head of nursing department Universitas Diponegoro. After the speech, we will continue to the presentation about running to publication to increase the body of knowledge. We have a wonderful speaker today. We have Associate Professor Dr. Praneed Songwathana. She is from Faculty of Nursing, Prince of Songla University, Thailand. Further introduction will be delivered by moderator Ibu Suartini PhD, who will be facilitate the presentation and discussion. So just like the last series, today's virtual general lecture is going to run about 2 hours, along with the discussion session and closing as well. And then there are some rules in participating to this virtual general lecture. The rules are just the same as the last series. I just want to remind you again about the rules. First, please use your real name for a Zoom application account, so we will not have wrong identification in admitting the participant. Second, participants should mute the microphone while joining this virtual general lecture. The third, participant must fill the attendee list prepared by the committee, and the committee will share the link for attendance twice at the beginning and at the end of the session. And the fourth, participants should ask the question on the room chat board or raise hand if you want to ask question directly to the speaker. Fifth, participant can access and download a certificate on website by the committee. We will also have recording of the virtual general lecture available to everyone to review. So if you miss this virtual general lecture, or if you have friends who cannot join this event, we will send a link of the recorded version, and please share the link with any friends. And we will also post on our website so that you can access easily as well. Bapak Ibu sekalian, sebelum kita mulai acara ini, marilah kita membaca basmalah bersama. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Well, ladies and gentlemen, as the first agenda, Now we will hear the national anthem of Indonesia Raya and continued by Undip Marsong. Please. Okay, thank you, Ibu Mega. Ladies and gentlemen, step on to the following schedule is speech. The welcoming speech will be delivered by Ibu Dr. Mediana Dwidianti SKAP MSc as the representative of the head of nursing department Universitas Diponegoro. Ibu Dr. Mediani, time is yours.
Thank you, Budian. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Mediana Dwidianti, representing the head of nursing department Diponegoro University. In this special occasion, firstly, I would like to welcome all participants. We are mostly nursing lecturer and student for joining us in this general lecture about running to publication to increase the body of knowledge. Secondly, I would like to welcome and show our highest appreciation to our speaker today, Dr. Praneed Songwathana from Faculty of Nursing, Prince of Songkla University. Welcome to Diponegoro University virtually. Ladies and gentlemen, as we all know, research is the key point of institution development, including Undip research activities, including publication, play a crucial role to support Undip to achieve its vision and mission to be an excellent research university. Therefore, as lecturer and student, we should pay more attention to this issue. And through this lecture today, we will learn how to achieve international publication is in reputable journal. The last, I also thank to organizing committee for this effort to organize this general lecture. We really hope that today activity can increase our knowledge and skill as well as motivation and innovation to do and improve the quality of our research and publication. By saying Bismillahirrahmanirrahim, I open officially this virtual general lecture with the theme Running to Publication to Increase the Body of Knowledge. Talk, talk, talk. Thank you very much. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you very much for the speech, Ibu Mediana. Hope that we can improve not just the quantity, but also the quality of our research and publication. Well, ladies and gentlemen, now we will start our session on general lecture with the topic running to publication to increase the body of knowledge. Without any further ado, we would like to welcome the speaker, Associate Professor Dr. Praneed Songwathana, and we also call Ibu Suhartini PhD, who will be the moderator of this session. A little bit about Ibu Suhartini PhD as our lecturer in Nursing Department Universitas Diponegoro. She has many accomplishments have been achieved. Let me show you the curriculum vitae of Ibu Suhartini. Wait for me. Yes. Is it clear? Yeah, Ibu Suhartini's hometown is Palembang. Ibu Suhartini lives on Taman Borobudur Utara Street, Semarang. Yeah, she graduated Bachelor of Science from Faculty of Nursing, University of Indonesia, Jakarta in 2001. She graduated Master of Nursing in 2010 from Faculty of Nursing, Prince of Songkla University, Thailand. And she completed doctoral programs in nursing, also from Faculty of Nursing, Prince of Songkla University, Thailand, in 2018. She had followed many trainings here, as you can see, and most of them are about research. And I don't think I will read them all because there's so many there's so many publications here. As you can see, this is the research experience, yeah, from 2001 until 2008, and then so many still here, 2018, and the last one is about nursing knowledge of retinopathies of prematurity in NICU. Yeah, she has also got funding awards so many funding awards here and publication in nursing journal, Media Nurse, Malaysian Journal, and then what's wrong is this? I'm sorry. I'm sorry, maybe the file is Pro, so I cannot show you the more, but okay. I think maybe that's all. Yes, he had also many awards as we can see in the slide just now. And I guess no need to wait any longer because this slide is also broken. Cannot show you the more? Yeah, sorry. So Ibu Suhartini PSD, you can take the time. I will stop the share. I'm sorry.
That's okay. That's okay.
Ya, ininya nggak tahu kenapa ini filenya.
Yes, okay. So this mine, Budian.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, thank you very much. This is Dian that have some of the opening sessions. Welcome all the participants and welcome to Dr. Praneed. She is my lectures. She is also my advisor, and then she is also my expired teachers when I study at the Prince of Songwatana University. And welcome to alumni and also students in the Prince of Songwatana University. Mrs. Lina, I can see you, and then some of the alumni of the Prince of Songwatana University to join with us. For this session, I will be as the moderator for Dr. Praneed. Guys, I always because I respect to her, I would like to always call her Ajan. Ajan is mean that in Indonesia is Ibu Guru. So we are as the students before the our relationship never ending. So Ajan, I will also will call you every times with Ajan Praneed. So everybody, before I start, the Ajahn Praneed would like to share about how to their experience about the publications so far. I would like to share first about the some of the Dr. Praneed CV or curriculum vitae about the some of their work in publications. Sorry, I would like to here. Okay, everybody can see, right? About Dr. Praneed CV, this her curriculum vitae. Ajahn Praneed is the associate professor in the Faculty of Nursing, Prince of Songwatana University, and she is have the education degree from the Doctor of Philosophy, University of Queensland, Australia, and the Master of Nursing Science from the Mahidol University, Thailand, and then the Bachelor degree from the Prince of Songwatana University too. She have the work experience currently. Her position as Deputy Director of the Research and Development for University and Society Engagements in the Prince of Songwatana University. And around 2013 until present, also have Director of the Research Centers in Caring and Healing of the Clients with Trauma, Emergency and Disaster. And she is very expert in this area. And then many for the visiting fellows from 2017, also in USA, and then to the China, also in the Australia. So many visiting fellow Ajahn Praneed go to other sites to develop the nursing science. And she also have the selected research awards from the Distinguished Award Ramatibodi alumni in 2019. 2017, research work in social science publications, ISI publications at the Princeton University. And 2012, research award from Faculty of Nursing. And 2003, Thailand Nursing Research Award from Thailand Nursing Council. And so therefore, selected fund research, Dr. Praneed also have the grant research 2018-2019 from the National Institute of Emergency Medicines, research grant in trauma and emergency service in Southern Thai borders. This around 2000 much this one dollars, right, Ajahn? And there's a lot of funding from the government. And now we can see 2016 and 2020 is still on the way from the Prince of Songla University grant for the research center of Faculty of Nursing. Ajahn Praneed is the head of the trauma centers research in the Prince of Songla University. So if some of the participants have interest to the trauma and then would like to continue study for the PhD, and then you can contact Dr. Praneed easily by email, as he is very fast respond lectures or when I study there also. And for the teaching focus, she is adult and elderly nursing, qualitative research, transcultural nursing, and then selected publications, many publications Ajahn Praneed has, and this from 2020 submit for the granted theory study of how Muslim wives adapt to their relationship with husband who are HIV positive in the Pacific Rim International Journal of Nursing. So it means that the reputations publications from Dr. Praneed and teams and also with students is very much, and we know from many publications. And then you can search in Google Scholar or many internets that talking about the how work from Ajahn Praneed. Okay, this all for I can show you about the fifth day of the Dr. Praneed. Now, I would like to share Dr. Praneed's material for to talking, and then now talk for Dr. Praneed. Times is here. Please, Dr. Praneed.
Yes. Good morning, everyone. I saw some of my students now, Lina. Okay, thank you for joining this session, okay, for you all. Actually, thank you for your nice introduction, Titin, and very nice to hear from all of you that you are interested in the how to make publication in terms of to challenging yourself and your colleague to have a good and quality of the paper, and then make your like some power of to share some of knowledge that to the public. Okay, let me when I saw the topic it running to publication, it makes very much I mean in terms of challenging that how we can get to the publication, right? But actually, I like to give you some overview that I have been experienced and then teaching some of my students, okay, to share with you at something that I think is important for the nursing researcher as us, because we are in a developing country and we use the language that we use is not in English, so it's very challenging for us to have it for English international publication. Okay, so may I start with the next slide to listen, okay, today that everyone who joined today, I just expect, okay, you can, whatever you are, wherever you are, okay, you can gain some motivation and how to energize yourself to be a good researcher and also as well as to make it for your reputation in the future, okay? So that's the success in publication may be in different level, okay? So this is some of my would like one question to you or that, okay, what's your experience in writing a paper? I have seen some of students that you already have been to like a national publication, local paper, okay, we can start from that. But however, some nursing, I mean, some students maybe struggle a lot, okay, maybe they have some experience that, okay, I never or no interest at all because I did not have any experience for writing, okay, we just doing, okay, practicing, okay, and we just reading, okay, some maybe they feel that they are really, I mean, find some difficult, okay. However, if you still uh, struggle with that thinking that how we can overcome that, okay, day by day, and looking at the new option for you, okay, it's not really hard for everyone to do it, okay, because why? Because everything you write based on your work, right? It's not other work. Okay, so it means you are really uh, knowledgeable. I mean, a good. I mean, in terms of you do it by yourself, and you are going to disseminate some of your information. Okay, to let them and to let the audience to know about this. So in fact, okay, we have some experience because in here I put in this picture that's based on some student and some nurse. Even though in Thai nurse, okay, there are a lot of issue like this. They got the feeling like this. Some they already have complete the project already, but don't know how to write it out. Okay, many of nurse here they have a difficult to write it out, not only for the national one, but for the local one. Okay, so that's why we just want to starting to help them, to support them, how to increase the publication through their eye, through their experience, and through their work. Okay, so some barrier maybe we can share, okay, and how we can overcome it. All right, so next slide please. All right, the first question that I found for my student and my the team of the nursing here in Thailand would like to share with you is about that how is the difference between the writing a report. Normally when you make a research and you have a report, right, maybe the full report or maybe it depends on your grant. If the grant that still need or require some report, so you submit the report, maybe the 50 page or 100 page, it's up to that grant, okay? However, in terms of writing the report may be different from writing a paper because you know why? Because writing a report, you just write, okay, give many details you can give, okay, because it's without any limitation of page, right? But once you have to get in and publish as a paper, so it means you have to make it short and concise. Okay, next slide, please. The difference is like I just kept the thing that important thing for you. The difference writing a paper, whatever paper is mean the short one, concise one. Okay, the first one is from like to make it short. 50 page, 100 page, how to make it 50, 15 page or 10 page. Or now, you know, some high impact journal, they just only have maybe just only 7 page, shorter than that. Okay, because they limit the page number. Why? Because it too many researchers would like to publish in a high impact journal. So the limit number of page is mean you have to be cautiously and concisely to make it more, meaningful that when you write. Okay, so the word count and the page number, that is they are the sticky rule for some journal. And now international journal mostly they strict on the page number and word count. Okay, so the second one is writing. When you write a paper, so you need to make it concise. It means not only the short one, but the term that you use, I think is important too. Some journal will have to learn about the language, what they use in terms of that journal. There are some journal very typical, when we write on our own language, so maybe they do not accept with that. Okay, so that's why we have to have some eye of English editor or English your friend that is good in English. So let's see that how it can help. Okay, some journal is like that. The language is important too. And for the paper, mostly, okay, now you have to pass the editorial process. It unlike the report, okay? The report, you just write it out and then that's it. Maybe sometimes you don't have a peer reviewer for you. But for the paper, because you have to make publication to distribute to your knowledge, so you need editorial process. So this editorial process maybe need time. That's why some people cannot do it, okay? Or maybe they feel struggle. They have to wait quite a long time. Some people might feel, oh, I feel suffer when I wait for the long time, things like that. But you cannot complain because you have to be patient, okay? You have to be patient. So editorial process, it depends on the quality of the journal, okay? And the writing the paper, I think, just go back a little bit. Go back to the slide, the previous slide. Okay. When the writing paper, the benefit of writing a paper, I think the difference from the report is you are going to disseminate to the wider audience. It's not just the team, it's not just the grant, okay? But you are going to make it well known to others to learn from you, okay? And then you need to be updated. Okay, updating the reference, updating the topic and literature. Okay, that one is, I think this is how it's different from the report. Okay, like you like for the thesis, one thesis you have more than 100 pages, right? How to make it concise in one paper? Sometimes it's impossible to write it out in one paper. You have to separate. Okay, this is I'm going to talk about the plan. Okay. So next slide, please. So after you learn this writing the paper, they are different from the report. So why we write? Why we need the writing, the research or writing a paper? Okay. I think for those of you, mostly you are doing the research already. So it means that you are going to generate some knowledge. Okay. Generate some knowledge that you learn from the one research or each research. Okay. And for some other purpose, it's like you are going to extend your knowledge, okay, how to apply to the audience, okay? So you just make some significant, that's why you are going to write it out. And respond to the organization, this one is also in my organization, we need publication. I think in everywhere, university, environment, they like every lecturer, every researcher to make a commitment to write it out. Okay, this is your organization aim. Okay, and increase your recognition. That's of course, right? When you write it out, someone will cite you. But to make a citation, it doesn't mean that okay, you cite by yourself, but you are going to write and then how to make it significant for people, for other people to learn from you and cite your work. Okay, and that is important. And create research collaboration. This one also, when I in my experience, then when we write at least maybe about 5 paper in your track, they can keep your track, okay? And then this track can make some collaboration. They know you, we know each other, so collaboration it will happen in automatically, okay? And the last one, because we are teaching, right? The teachings, the significant is like when we teach you, we also, or maybe you teach other nurse, okay? So you are going to disseminate some knowledge, all right? Okay, so next slide, please. Before you are going to look at publication, I just want you to look back for your proposal. Why we need time to develop your proposal, right? In our student, okay, many people struggle with the proposal, right? I don't know, but I found some of you might feel okay. Oh, why it's so very difficult? Because when you make a good plan for the beginning, it means you are going a halfway to publication, you know. So halfway that you are going to pay attention on proposal development is really important because it can increase your publication. Okay, if you just do proposal as what we call, you have very little time, you need to think much about this. So the power of your proposal cannot go to the publication. I just think like that. This is my reflection when I study and I am teaching here. I share with some students here about why we need to pay attention out for our research, for our proposal. Okay, we need some. We like students to learn from how we can gain success for doing or conduct the research. Okay, but we have to think a lot how to make a good proposal, and then it can help you to increase the number of publication as well. Next slide, please. Okay, this is based on my experience, and I learned a lot from how to make it successful, to read the publication and ready to submit. I have 3 roadmap. The 1, 2, 3, this one, maybe they are step by step that I learned, okay? The first one, the plan. Plan is really, I just think that the plan here is like your preparation phase. When you have your own data, when you have your own work and some information or some knowledge that you are going to share with others. So you need to prepare what? The topic, your own topic of interest, okay? And then the topic of journal interest too. You have to match your interest and the journal interest, okay? It means you are going to find and look for journal that match your interest too, okay? Otherwise that if you go to the wrong journal, so you will get a rejection, okay? Thing like that. So we are going to talk in detail. But the first one, the plan, okay, there are 3 stages. The first stage is about you have to understand your topic. What are going to write? Okay, what topic are going to interest the people? And then for the next stage, you are going to find the journal and some guideline for author. As the author, you have to be in discipline with that journal too. Okay. And then the last stage is about writing about your draft outline first or tentative plan. Okay, we are going to talk in detail. And the second roadmap is about when you make a plan already, you are going to write it out. I just want you to think about that. When you're writing, what is the easy way for you to write it out? I think can start with literature review or systemic review. That is the first step of our student now, okay? The first step of some nurse, they can do it because when you want to do the evidence-based practice, you are going to review some evidence. So based on the review evidence, so that one, it can make publication too, okay? And the second step, I think for you or for all That nurse here, when we use it like your case study or writing about your work that you already done in your clinic or in somewhere in teaching or in whatever area that you work, like a case study, okay? Or maybe analysis, the case study, we call that like a analyze and synthesis the study. It can be the retrospective study. You have your own database. You are going to analyze from your own database. That one, because you are not going to do the future research, but you are going to bring back and learn from your own previous data. Okay, this one is also you can writing it out. What did you have and what did you learn? Okay, but the last stage is about you are going to conduct your research, the new one, new topic or whatever under your research and development that you are doing. Okay, this is like a you are go prospective study. Okay, so based on writing it out, not only the topic, but you are going to think about what are you going to write in which state that you are in. It depends on the type of paper. You can do a lot. Okay. And the third roadmap, I think, is about when you already finished or complete your writing, so you can check and recheck and evaluate your quality of writing, okay, before you submission, okay? There are some steps, they are in here. You need to have the peer reviewer or internal peer reviewer in your team. You have to reassess with the checklist of guideline of the journal and also editing, okay? So we are going to talk in detail in some particular point. So next slide, please. Now, start with the first roadmap is about the plan of your preparation. The difficult thing is about how to match your interest with the journal interest. And also how to find a good journal. Good journal here is mean you have to meet with the standard, right? Otherwise, you cannot count it as what we call, because some of my colleagues here, they write it out without any pay attention of the journal, quality of journal, that when the university want to get high promotion, so they cannot use that, the journal publication, because it's under standard, thing like that. So we need to think truly about how to find a good journal for your publication. Okay. Next slide, please. So in terms of this, the first stage in the roadmap, okay, the plan. You have to plan your topic, finding the topic. The topic that should be attractive, even though the name, the title, you have to think about what the title should be attract the people to learn from you and attract people to read about your content, right? So you can start looking your topic based on your work, okay? Your expertise, your interest, and your important work in your field. Maybe you have several types of work that you have to make your plan. Which kind of work, which type of topic? What are the highlight ones that you think it can make a paper? Okay, not everyone, not everything that you can write it out, but you have to think clearly. Okay, what is the highlight one? Highlight issue here, maybe, oh, this paper you are going to write about your design, because your design it makes some challenging work and then make some change. Okay, it's well designed for RCT or whatever that you use in your methodology or in your development, in your process, okay, whatever. Or maybe you are going to highlight the issue that you found very difficult to solve the problem. So, but you can solve things like that. So you just think about what particular topic in the paper that you are going to highlight. Or maybe you gain some new knowledge or some uniqueness of the paper that you didn't find from previous study, so you can write it out, things like that. And the other point is about the theme of the journal, because you are going to match. When we look for your topic, you have to think about what journal. Okay, sometimes this is like a period of journal. Some journal they will distribute to us like, okay, the theme of journal will be aged care, elderly, or whatever. So if your topic is related to that, or it might perfect, okay, they will pick up you, thing like that. Or maybe some journal they will put in advance for announcement that, or maybe some invitation about that journal is going to have this, blah, 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 in the next year or the other year, thing like that. So they will invite for all, okay? And the other point is about the hot issue. For right now, if you look at some journal or some publication, a lot in terms of what? COVID-19. If you look at in the Google or whatever, so many paper on related to the COVID-19 era. So if your paper or your topic is related to that, you can write it. Okay, I think this is a hot issue. Okay. So next one. All right. When you choose your topic already, okay, you are going to, this is your plan, and you are going to find some journal that match with your topic, right? So the seeking the paper or choosing the journal, maybe Reka is going to help me to help you to identify this, how to match the journal. It's not difficult now. Unlike in the past, when I first published, very difficult because we don't have Google, we don't have some internet like this. So we just by manual, you choose and you seek and learn from the journal, okay, the printed one. So we are very difficult at that time. But now very easy, there are some website for you to search the journal that match with you. Okay, so when you seek the journal, you have to think about which type of journal that are going to match. Maybe you have to think about who are the audience or the reader. Okay, if your topic is related to the other health professional too, or public health maybe, so you can have more choice to look for some journal. Okay, yeah, but if you pay attention, your leader is totally among the nurse, okay, you just go to the specific one, thing like that, or some orthopedic one, or older elderly ones, or thing like that. So it depends on what topic that you are going to write it out. Okay, you can choose. Okay, and database, okay, of the journal, ISI Scopus or SJR. So you have a choice. Okay, it depends on what level that you are going to write. Aim and scope of the journal, you have to learn. Okay, you can go and look at what guideline of order, or maybe the scope of the journal. Okay, and now I learned many journal right now, which the researcher or the writer to pay attention or to write on some statement. They will ask you two things. Ask you to sentence what already known about the topic that you are going to write, and then what are the paper can make significant or the new knowledge, thing like that. So it really, I mean, for the good journal, for high impact factor journal, so they need us to write it out in the box, like in the separate one, that to look at some topic that you think that it can make a meaningful. Okay, and this is one of my experience. When you seek the journal, you have to look at editorial board. Why? If the editorial board come from various discipline, I think it's good. If it have some nurse, for example, you are going to write based on your nursing background. If the editorial board not only medical doctor, but have some nurse also, it would be very helpful. Okay, you should not look at the very what we call other discipline that without nursing, because sometimes the worldview of the thought, they are different, okay, of us. So various discipline, it helps you to learn from. And I think now for our research, we like to integrate and use our discipline and share with some other discipline too. So when you write it out, so you are seeking some journal, you may look at this. I think it's very helpful, okay, to make more choice. And the paper and writing style, okay, this is under the journal guideline author. Next slide, please. During the time that when you choose the journal, this one, select the journal, okay, how to select the journal. Okay, next one. I think this one is going to, Reka is going to talk in detail later, okay, about that. But I share with you, there are many. When you're seeking, normally for our student, maybe I want them to start from the lowest one, the low one, because when you think it's high, so sometimes when you got rejection, you feel oh, the world is so sad, thing like that. So I like to empower the student not to get to the high impact factor, but it's still in the middle one. Okay, middle one. So it will help you to learn the success of publication. Okay, these are some of the database that now I just want you to think about online journal. Okay, there are many. Okay, many online journal now. Okay, because this is going to be the paradigm shift of the journal. It's not just only the printed one, but now online journal. But based on online journal, you have to think about the quality of the journal too, because there are a lot of online journal is not meet the standard. Okay, next slide, please. Okay, what is the ISI? And next slide, please. This one, the maybe Leka will talk in detail, okay, because based on her experience. Okay, okay. Next one is about ISI. How to find the ISI index journal? You can go to website, right? Now easily for you to seek the journal. Unlike in the past, I'm sure you just click and then you just know the website, so it can help you to match which journal that match with your topic. All right. Next slide, please. These are the top 3. Now there are another one. Okay, ESCI, Emerging Source Citation Index. You know there are different in terms of index system for you, because now there are a lot of journal production of the journal, many more and more journal, okay, to publish, and then they are going to make this for citation and to make the reputation of the journal, attract people to come and then to select this database. So sometimes they are competing each other, so you need to learn, okay, which one that service is qualified and good for you. Okay, so all of these are in the standard. All right, next slide, please. Okay, this one I give Leka to share with you, okay, at after my session. Okay, this is how to select the journal, okay, and when you select the journal, you have to check whatever, because sometimes some colleague of my colleague, they try to make a what we call quick response, what to get the good and quick response. So sometimes you need to think and check for your journal that they publish how many issue in a year, okay? And is there any fee that you are going to pay? Okay, online system now mostly for the standard one, they are going to pay. Okay, you have to pay. Okay, but the different rate of pay. Okay, and the length and structure. So you need to consider all of this. Okay, based on your what we call based on your condition. Okay, so if you want to have the quick one, so which journal that you are going to. However, I just thinking if you have a good plan, so will not have so much barrier in terms of publication. Okay, so next slide please. All right, this is some useful of the link to find the journal. Okay, you can get it. Okay, based on this. Next slide please. Okay, now I just want to pay attention in terms of when you look for some journal already, you have to understand about what should be prepared in terms of as an author. You have to understand the guideline, okay? You have to follow the guideline, okay? And strictly follow that because some editor, if you do not, pay attention on this, you might get a rejection from the very beginning when you submit, okay? Because this one is a technical orientation, not just the content, just only the technical one. So you need to fix all the technical one here when you are going to write for that journal. So you have to learn about the guideline for author, okay? And remember that in terms of the author guideline, mostly they will look at the publishing process. This is it depends on the time, it depends on the cost, it depends on the requirement of yourself and the journal too. So you have to make clear for all the way through. Okay. I call it journal style. Okay, they are different style, and these are the thing that I learned from some of my colleagues. That why they cannot get the promotion because some paper that they publish is not met the standard, or maybe the journal that is not a good in terms of ethics. Okay, in terms of what uh, the the online journal that there are things that happen. Okay, so I think it's important for you when you find and look for the journal. It should this diagram can help you to think and rethink about the journal that which one that you are going to make publication. Okay, we have the committee of on the publication ethics here. So these are the collection of all the thing that when we, because now as I said to you that a lot of journal production now, so online journal as well, so they are going to fix it and to meet to control the standard of the journal as well. So that's why we have to check with the if that a good journal or not. Okay, next slide please. You can follow this. And here that I just want to say to you now, because for online system right now, they got a lot of, you may need to pay because sometimes they open access journal now. Okay, sometimes you have to pay in advance, sometimes you have to pay in the last. Okay, it depends on the regulation of the online journal. Okay, and very little, the journal online system now that they do not pay because it need your, because under the online system it may make benefit for you, like you are not going to be the subscribe the like as a printed journal, but you are going to pay for what? Pay for once it's open to the public, you can get more and more citations, things like that. So that's why you it can work enough for you. That citation it can help you to increase your knowledge and increase your reputation. Okay. Okay, you go on this. And that's why here we call the name that you have to check when you choosing the journal. It should not be a list here, okay? Because here, if you found, you can check whether in the website, if they are under that journal, under the beer list, so you have to take it out, okay? Should not submit to that journal, okay? You have to be carefully here, okay? Some journal it not meet the standard. That's what I say, okay? You can check under the website. When you find the journal already, you have to check is under bill list or not. If it yes, so you have to take it out, okay? Next slide, please. Now in the first roadmap, right? The plan. When you make a plan already and look for the journal already, now it's yourself, you have to make the tentative outline plan by yourself. You have to think about how many paper, okay? When you finish one research, you are going to say, okay, this research, when you got some finding, and the finding, you think that it make many, knowledge or produce some other knowledge, not only single one. So if you can make more than one paper, so you have to think, okay, and you have to outline that first paper, the second paper, okay, what is like, okay, and you have to make it meet the standard too. And who are the audience or the reader, okay, to select the journal, and also what content that you are going to present. You can make a draft idea, okay, outline of your content in the writing, okay, and also when you complete this and submit the paper, you have to commit yourself the time frame, okay. Normally, if you have, okay, you have 3 months, okay, for example, you have 3 months to finish this paper, so you have to commit yourself how we can do and finish in 3 months. Or 1 month or 2 weeks, okay? You have to get it done. This is your time frame. You have to commit yourself. Otherwise, it take long time. So some new thing come up. So you may ignore the last one, thing like that. So it can distract your attention. So when you do it, you have to make your time frame as well, and you commit yourself. Okay, I think it's very important. Okay. Next slide. Now to the second roadmap. When you make a plan already, you have select or which journal and you thinking that topic is related to that. Okay, now the step of your writing. Okay, in terms of this, it depends. Remember stage 1, you can write it out under your literature review or seismic review. Okay, because based on the review, you cannot write one paper already. Okay, based on the review, so you need to meet this standard, okay, meet this comprehensive, fully referent, selective one, relevant one, and balanced one, or analytical method that you use. It's not just copy and paste, okay. I just remember that I learned from you, I learned from many students, okay, should not copy and paste or just state only one by one without any link, so it's not good, okay. So this is under now seismic review, that is mostly journal now. Recently, they like to have seismic review rather than literature review, okay. Because why? Because there are a lot of research have been done in the same issue, right? Then it's like a collection of the research and public paper, and then you can do the seismic review or meta-analysis, okay? This is the first paper, you can do it, write it now, okay? And next one, or you can write a case study, okay? Case study can be based on your what? your work that or maybe routine work that you found in your setting, okay? From you analyze from your own setting, on your own problem, but you find that this is the case that you find the challenging, and then you can solve some problem during the thing that you have done. So you are going to present or some evidence to share some idea, and you have to back up with the some theory, okay? So you are going to use some theory to explain how it works and how it not work, thing like that. So this is a piece of work you can do as a case study, writing a case study, okay? Identify the problem, select the problem in the case, the main one, and then suggest the solution. These are the way to, in your writing a case study. You can do it, okay? Yeah. And the next one, this is the writing from the research, okay? The research paper. There are 6 steps here based on the framework for writing a research, okay? Abstract, statement of the problem, the aim or hypothesis. If you done the quantitative research, so you may need some hypothesis, okay? And write about the methodology and the result part and conclusion, okay? There are 6 parts that you are going to write based on the research paper. I think everyone knows this, okay? So in terms of, next slide, please. Okay, based on the writing a research paper, okay, this is one of my, I think, I put together and let you know that, okay, now there are many, what, the checklist for you to help you to writing a paper, a good paper, okay? Based on this, we call equator. Equator is here, enhancing the quality and transparency of health research, the checklist. This checklist can help you to identify which one of your paper are missing for what, but why is like that. So you have some like you can learn from that checklist, and you can make a reason that why is that and why is not like this, okay? On the right hand side is from the literature review or systemic review, or maybe the thing that already have, because you can write out this from the evidence, we call secondary evidence. For example, right now a lot of clinical practice guideline, right? Clinical, they develop a lot of practice guideline. Maybe when you search practice guideline related to what in ICU or critical care setting, there are a lot of guidelines for helping the, for example, rehabilitation, early ambulation, things like that. So those guidelines, okay, you can do like a literature review or systemic review. You can use agree to assess, things like that. Can be one paper. Okay, so you are going to analyze based on the agree to see what is the best practice guideline. Okay, or you can look at the original, research that already done, and then you are going to see look back the public paper to do the literature review, systemic review, meta-analysis. You have to check. This is the tool for you, help you. Quality tool that we call Prisma, okay? Based on our student now, they learn a lot about the Prisma or consort, things like that here. This is based on the public article or paper or research, okay? But in the left-hand side, the quality, there are many, okay? When you do the original research, you are going to make the publication. Whether you have qualitative study, you may use the tool that to help you, okay, to increase the power of your work, okay? So you can use the core Q, okay, core Q to look at a checklist for qualitative, okay? When you write it out, you have to use this checklist to help you to improve your writing, okay? This one maybe it's just like a guide for you when you write it out, okay? But it doesn't mean If you cannot meet every checklist, you need to identify which part, but because some part it's okay, it not seriously, okay, but it just help you to make it's a guide for your writing. There are many, right? Mostly nursing, qualitative mainly, and case study, and quality improvement study, and RCT, or maybe some quasi-experimental study, okay, in nursing field, okay, maybe some epidemiology, some survey, okay, depend on what topic that you are going to write and what methodology that you are writing, okay. Okay, next slide, please. Okay. Now, starting for writing an abstract. Somebody asked me, Ajahn, when I want to write a paper, okay, how I should start? Start from, because we have six parts, right? From abstract until the conclusion, okay? Which part that we should write first, okay? Now, I just thinking based on your research, okay? Based on my, also when I did my research, when I finished, I will write the abstract first, I usually write an abstract first, okay? To collect, this is like an outline of my thought about this paper, But somebody maybe write the result part first because it's easy one. Or maybe some will write the methodology one. So it depends on the style of writing, okay? Whatever you write, okay, the first section and the first part until the end. So you should, it depends on your style, okay? But writing, in terms of writing an abstract, okay, you should learn about the format of that journal. Some journal, they are unstructured. It means no title. It's like a abstract. You should write the aim, you should write the background and aim, method, result, and conclusion. Okay, this is a format one, the structure one. And some journal, they use narrative one, okay, without any structure, okay. So it depends on the type of journal, okay. And the abstract, normally you have to write it, the highlight one, the result that you highlight, which is you need to make it clear. So that's why when you highlight this, so you can know that, okay, the next one, the body, the text. So what should you write, okay? The word count, by average, this is by average, okay? For international publication, 200 to 300. They use this word count. Very little, I mean, gone to 500, okay? It depends on because now in nursing and health science, it should be like this. But except for the chemical one, except the other, in terms of scientific one, maybe it's shorter than this, okay? And the systemic way of writing, okay? And also look at some keyword. When you write an abstract, you can learn what the keyword that should be put it in, okay, under the abstract too, okay? Remember, I would like to pay attention here. The abstract should not have a reference in the abstract, okay? They would not allow any reference. So even though you use based on what the framework or what other framework, but you just write it in terms of the main sentence or the main thing or main component of that. But they will not allow you to make a citation in the abstract, okay? It not accept, Okay, in terms of writing abstract, okay? And next one, after the abstract is the main text or the body. Next slide, please. When you write it out of the main text, this is under the one file. You can put the abstract one, you put separate file normally. and the main text is mean include 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, in terms of the main text when you writing a paper. Okay, so I think everyone know. Okay, when you write introduction part, you need to write it out. Why did you study this? And write about some background, some statistics that you are going to make it significant. Okay, and the value of your study. Okay, otherwise the people cannot see what are the value. The value can be the benefit in the last. Okay, and then how you can make a recommendation. Okay, so you have to put it in introduction as well. Okay. In terms of the second part is method, right? The method here that I think if you follow your proposal, the good proposal, you write out about the method. The method is not the difficult one, I think, because it's follow from your proposal. But you just revise somewhat the actual one. You have to write it out, the actual one that you did, okay, not the planned one, okay. So the 10 should be revised as a past tense, thing like that, okay. So how the study conduct and why you use this method and the sample size or blah blah blah, it depends on what methodology that you use, okay. And the result part, okay, the result part, I think the important of the result part is the what we can present in terms of because the limit of the space for you, right? The presentation style here, because sometimes you have many data. How you can put an important data into the result part, okay? So you have to make it concise. Not everything you put it in the result part because it's too much. And even though you have the rich information in terms qualitative, but you have to select which one that is a highlight and related to what under the finding based on your objective, okay, to answer your research question, okay. Not everything, because you cannot write like a report. That's what I said, okay. This is the way in which that we have to learn. Sometimes we can use alternative, like this alternative way of presentation. You can use some table, diagram, or some that you think that it can, when you put it in the table, you can shorten the sentence, thing like that, okay? Or maybe you can extend some part, shorten some part. You can make the style of presentation, okay, based on your thought. In term discussion, I think this part is very difficult one for many writer, okay, or researcher. But actually, if you think by yourself, when you want to make a discuss, you have to discuss based on your finding first, right? The main finding, what is that? And then what does it mean? That finding, what does it mean? You have to interpret. And to make it significant, how is significant? And you have to make a comparison, compare with the previous study, or maybe you have to compare with some evidence that you learn from theory, or you support by your theory, by concept, okay? So, and also, many people do not write about limitation, but I think it not should be like that. You should write about your limitation in your discussion as well, to make it why it not, because sometimes your result part, it did not show significant because some limitation on what. So you have to write it and make some discussion on that, okay? It will help the audience or the reader to understand why it's not significant, okay? And anything that you think for discussion to have to make it based on your relevant with your literature review, relevant your theory, and relevant your evidence from your own data, okay, into the discussion. conclusion. I don't think it's difficult. Okay, you just make a conclusion to a few sentence. Okay, it's fine. All right, and then tip for writing a research paper. This is what I made by myself. Okay, when I write a research paper, you know, the first thing we have to write as an order. But for myself, I write as I said to you. I start with abstract, you know, because I have finished the research already. So I write an abstract first when we write the paper, and based on your abstract, you can follow and then make a detail on that. Okay, this is depend on your style. Somebody make 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, follow that. It's okay, fine. All right, and when you write, okay, when you start writing, you should finish in a short time. Should not spend too many days. Okay, in term one paper, because otherwise that your attention, okay, is not in that period. Sometimes when you want to write, you just write it out and then you finish and complete it, even though it's just only the draft. Okay, only the draft, but the draft can make you feel good. Okay, at the beginning. And what I learned from the language of the journal, you know, when you shooting the journal, sometimes when you already have done, let's go back to the shoot the journal. One of my experience that I choose the journal from literature review. When you literature review, okay, that topic, okay, you can see your reference. And based on your reference, you find most common journal that based on your reference, you can pick up that journal for your publication too. Okay. And you can learn the language of the journal, the style of journal. It's very helpful for you when you make your own writing. Okay. And you have to commit your time. Okay. Commit your time and task, because you have some, I think the time, sometimes we have complained a lot because no time to do it. Okay. But if you say like that every day, it will be negative feeling. But you have to spend maybe 1 hour a day, every day. You commit yourself, you have to do every day. Okay. So it regularly to train yourself to be what? Like to be in discipline. Okay. Whatever you do, but you just leave your 1 hour, okay, each day to do this. Okay. So it will be good. Okay. I also train by doing this way. Okay. And commit, not only committing, but sometimes you need what we call the team, the co-author, mentor, advisor to help you to learn at some stage and to help you some like a content editing or whatever that the style of writing. So it very helpful. So you have to look at the we call co-author or maybe the partner for you to help each other. Okay. Because the publication is a skill, you have to practice. These are some potential read or comment for publication. I also learned when I was a reviewer, okay, for international publication. So I just pick up some of the comments and some risky thing that when we write it out, we have to pay attention on whatever that they comment us. Okay, mostly the comment is about sometimes the topic is not suitable to the journal, so you might get rejection at the beginning. Okay, I also have this experience, so it's very common, sometimes you pick up the wrong journal. Okay, you don't know that journal is going to interest. Okay, and but you should feel not so sad. Okay, but you are going to try another one. Okay, now many journals they look at the plagiarism, so they have automatic checking about the plagiarism for you. Okay, sometimes if you have a lot of the copy and paste without any citation, so they will give what we call rejection at the beginning. The editor is very important. They will skim and scan for you at the beginning. And the content, some content, if it's too narrow or too specific, so you have to think about which journal you are going to make. Okay, but it doesn't mean you cannot make a publication, but you have to find again. Okay, sometimes content is too superficial. It means not many interesting, or the cannot see the highlight one, so they will give some feedback, or maybe very nicely, or maybe whatever they think about this, it may can go to another journal or put some more detail, whatever. Okay, so if it will not happen if you make a good plan and you know what are you going to write. Okay, what highlight one. Okay, not relevant to the practice. This depend on the journal. Okay, and it too subjective, or maybe too specialized, like I said, or maybe it not has been covered adequately in the journal. I mean, in terms of the author guideline as well. Query structure, inadequate literature review. Some journal right now, it doesn't mean that sometimes they do not put in terms of significant of problem and then the short one, but they will look at in terms of your discussion. Based on literature review, okay, they will look on the discussion, how much that you have reviewed on that particular one. Because some journal, they do not have a space for you to write review literature under that research paper. It depends, okay. Inadequate literature review can be a part, comment one, and maybe too vague, it not the right hypothesis. Okay, when you write a hypothesis, you want to test this, but the result will come up, yeah, not relevant. So it, or maybe you have to write any hypothesis, so you have to think about this. Okay, another, next slide please. Okay, this one also, they are not enough of detail, or maybe you have the tool or the procedure that you write out is not adequate, or maybe some not like a site you have not, you use the standard one. Sometimes it will ask you about the validity and reliability, so you need to fix all of this. Okay, normally we have already in terms of when you do the research, except some of you that you use the standard one without any testing, but you have to give the reason why and what is the previous research that had done and use the same tool with you, and they already test for you. Okay, and sometimes statistic questionable. Okay, this one is, it depends on how. I like you to pay attention. If you do the quantitative research, okay, the number or the statistic that you should pick it before your submission, because otherwise it can, what we call, reject on your result part, because when they look at some result and they found something very strange and some number it not what consistent the number, so it might take a serious, okay, for the editor. Okay, this one, it depends on the journal as well. Mostly I learned from the scientific paper, from medical one, medical journal, or maybe like a pharmacy scientific journal, that one, you know, they really strict on the number, strict on the number, because mostly they are on the RCT or maybe predictive value or whatever. The style of writing is not the same. Discussion part, okay, pay attention, should not repeat the result. Okay, mainly some colleagues, they use, when you put on the finding already, you still discuss by using the copy, the finding, and then come to the discussion again. Should not repeat it again. You just highlight what is the main finding, and you are going to discuss some issue or argument or what support or whatever. Okay, no need to repeat again because it really need the space for you as well. Sometimes they limit the number word count. Okay, make it for generalization and make it I mean writing style. This one I think editing it help you for writing style. The editor, I mean in terms of when you are going ready to submit, so you can put some editor, I mean English editor to help you because we are weak, right? Weak in terms of the writing in English especially. Okay. The last one I think very important. Sometimes it just 5,000 words, but you gone to 9,000 words, thing like that. So you need to squeeze, okay? And you are going to make it concise. Sometimes this one, the English editor can help you. Sometimes the long sentence, how to make it short, but the same meaning, okay? We learn this from the English editor too. Okay, so next one. Okay. This one, the lighting the significant. We go back when you write the body of the text already. I think it's better to check for your significance of the problem again. Right to the beginning of the important or introduction. Because based on introduction, you are going to identify why you write it out and then what is the gap. Okay, but when the last thing, when you learn and then you put on the writing through the conclusion or through the discussion, you have to go back and check it again with the introduction. Do you get the result and then answer all that thing that you mentioned at the beginning? Okay. Now the stage 3 is mean recheck and evaluate, right? Checking and evaluate this one. Okay, this is for the characteristic, some characteristic that you have to check whether 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7 part. Okay, for the manuscript, the goal and the time of study. The time of study here, you can put it in abstract too, and also you can put in the, not only methodology, the time of study. Okay, but the short one. And ethical approval if you do the research, okay, except systemic review or case study. Maybe there's no need to, it depends on the what case study you are going to write, okay, and methodology design and statistics. So all these things you are going to check it, okay, and recheck whether that you write it out it clearly and very strong evidence. Okay. However, you have many checklists. It depends on your type of research. Okay, next slide, please. Okay, this one, when you look at your writing, okay, when you finish already, so you can come back to read it again and reread and look at the word and sentence. You have some link or not, the flow of content, you have to check for all way through, okay? Otherwise that sometimes when you write and the first draft, second draft, sometimes that when you write everything done of abstract until the conclusion, so it means you are now come back to recheck. Maybe you ask your team member to look at and read it again and again, okay? And check for reference, check for citation. So everything you need to check for all, right? And even though you have the discussion already, so you need to go back and look and then read it again. Okay, is this clear discussion? you have to make a good, I mean, in terms of argument already. Okay, I always use the peer or the team member in that paper to look at again and read for you. So it will be very helpful. It's like an interlater to help you again to improve your writing. Okay. Okay, next slide. Now, I think it like to make it more beautiful. Okay, more beautiful paper. Okay, sometimes you have to follow, use double space, double line spacing. Okay, and use the line and page numbering. Okay, mostly some journal they need that. Okay, because you can check whether which line and the page number. Okay, and use the SI. This is like a international system unit that they use mostly for the scientific like a chemical one, or you use some simple whatever. So you need to look at SI unit. Okay, when you go to the website and you can search any SI unit. But in terms of nursing, we don't have using much of this. Okay, because we don't use the what uh, the what we call when you have the some characteristic very, maybe you have the signal or the symbol or thing like that. So in nursing field or health field, health science, I don't see much on this. But in terms of scientific journal, okay, some journal they use this to check for you. Okay, because you have to think about it. If it there too much like a above or super and the underscore, super score, and some characteristic or some symbol, you need to fix with this first before your submission. Okay, and do not use the page break in terms of thing that you do. Okay, okay, because when you go to the system in terms of public submission process, it will have automatically to run the page number for you, and no need to use the page break in terms of the first manuscript, the manuscript that you are going to submit. Okay, all right. Maybe now I think I would like maybe Reka to share first, okay, about the her experience on the writing a paper for international. That is the reviewing one, okay, before go to the next editing. Okay, so now maybe you want to make a discussion first, or just asking first, so we can share, and then before we give some example that for you to look at how we can write a paper and make it successful. You want to ask or share first?
Pardon, Ajahn?
To ask or maybe share, maybe you have some question that related to the what I talk.
Okay. So we would like to discuss first, Ajahn, before Reka, right?
Yes. Okay.
Yeah. So Ajahn finished to share the
I think
manuscript
finish the
screen,
first
right?
part. Maybe at the end you call for wrap up again.
Okay. Well, the participants in the Zoom or YouTube, you can ask some questions to Ajahn Praneed directly, and then you can follow by mention your name and then from your institutions. Yes, welcome, please. And then you can raise your hand. Yes, please. Anybody want to directly to questions to Ajahn Praneed? Mr. Fatoni, I can see you. Mr. Fatoni, remember Ajahn?
Oh yes, Fatoni.
Yes. Yes,
Hello,
please, Mr.
how are
Fatoni.
you? How are you?
I'm fine, Achan. I'm good.
Good to
Sawadika,
see
Achan.
you. Good to see you.
Yes, Achan.
I like to connect with you. You know, now you are in Australia, right? Or not?
In Indonesia, Achan, in Malang.
Indonesia. Do you study
Yes.
in a doctoral program?
Yes, Achan, in
Oh,
Airlangga University.
oh. And now you finish already?
Not yet, Achan.
Oh, okay. Let me know. The big congratulations.
Yeah, already exam for proposal, Achan. Maybe to
Ah,
next is submit manuscript. I
ah,
would like to ask Achan
yes, yes.
about how to know the tip and tricks about to get we have successfully publication in journal Q1 or Q2 in indexed by Scopus, Achan.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Achan. Kopun
Ah,
Kap.
okay. Before you going up to Q1, Q2, you need
Yes.
to come back to your work first, you know, because Q1, Q2, I think is a high ranking journal, right? Under the ISI Scopus, right? So it doesn't mean you cannot go to a higher, but you have to think back, look back for your own work, okay? If that meet the standard or not, because sometimes it's difficult, even though for myself, you know, sometimes very difficult because they look in the detail, how you do it. But you can learn too. I think who are going to help you, okay? You have to find some person that is very expert on that too to help you. You be a mentor, okay? Because sometimes, you know, it cannot make it by your own self. You have to make a consultant, all right? But I know everyone want to have a high ranking one journal, okay? But look back for your work first. Your work is it good or not, okay? Qualify
Okay,
or not,
Achan. Thank
right?
you very much, Achan.
But
Kopun Kap,
challenging,
Achan.
okay? Challenging, okay?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay,
Yes,
Achan. Kopun Kap.
thank you, Mr. Fatoni. It's so long time ago, Ajahn. Okay, for the second one, you can also ask to Ajahn Praneed directly. Yes, please, for participants. Do you would like to ask directly?
Okay.
Anybody?
If you don't have any now, maybe I let Leka to help you to learn more how she did, okay? To the ISI Scopus, and that's a good paper too. Now
Yes.
many people cite that paper, okay? Yeah.
Yes, okay. Maybe at the end, maybe have many questions, right? Ajahn?
Yes.
Okay. Yes, okay. Time to Reka. Yes, please. Do you would like to share by your own slides?
May I share my screen?
Yes. You can share your screen. Okay, Reka, could you show your?
Have you seen my slide?
Yes. Just show your PPT. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Yes, please, Reka. Time is yours.
A very warm good morning to my respected Ajahn, Dr. Praneed, and my seniors, as well as my dear alls. Today, I'm here to share my experience on writing a paper in ISI or Scopus-based journals. Thank you very much, Dr. Ajahn Praneed. Session with this quote. if you have infinite patience and perseverance, success is bound to come. No mistake in that. So I will proceed my session of learning from systematic review and publications. My support, my strength, and my motivations is my advisor, Associate Professor Dr. Praneed. Thank you very much. Inquiry question for today's session: how did I clarify the rationale to conduct systematic review? What protocol did I follow for systematic planning to systematic review? We have been through many obstacles. We don't know the idea how to proceed paper, and I got succeed because of our course coordinator, Ajahn Dr. Praneed and Ajahn Dr. Kirtikon to systematic. Ajahn told me to write a manuscript on systematic review. I feel that I don't have anything how to write, and I cannot. But I want to do, but I don't have any ideas. So we learn many things on systematic review through our coursework. Then we proceed from these steps. First of all, we formulate research questions. We design search strategies, search many databases, and identify possible papers from titles and abstracts. Then we try to retrieve papers. Then we collection of primary studies using inclusion criteria. Then extraction of data, and then we followed quality and research. How did I do publish in International Journal Index in Web of Science? First of all, I prepared a draft. I choose the journal. How I choose the journal, I will my experience later. Then I prepared all the required documents based on journal guidelines. Just like we have their authorship information, authorship declarations, conflict of interest, main body, cover letter, funding details, tables, figures, as well as what is already known and what have not been known. So I prepared all the required documents based on the journal guidelines. Then I started submission on June 5, 2019. Then when I submit my systematic comments after 4 weeks, it was my pleasure to receive feedback a very quick period within 4 weeks. And first time I found major revision and reconsideration on July 5. Then I tried to revise my manuscript with guidance of supervisor, Ajahn Dr. Praneed. Then I submitted first revision. Then I waited for around 1 month. Then I got second time revision. Then I again received a lot of comments, major revision and reconsideration. Then what I feel I lose confidence and hope. However, I lost my confidence and hope. Ajahn Praneed always motivated me to proceed further. Then I again submitted my second revision. Then and third time, I received provisionally accepted subject to minor amendments. Then I feel a little bit hope. After a few time, I got decision accept on 16 December 2019, published online on January 13. Within 6-month period, I got success my systematic review paper. And how I choose the journal. I want to publish it on ISI journal. So I have been to Web Science group. Then I select the journal. What journal I want to publish, and I type the journal name and click search journal. And then I found the details of international journal, and I found that there is a view profile, and I got to know that they had started publications on 1993. They published quarterly. So I hope I can submit in this journal. However, I did not choose this journal, and I choose the topic of interest of that journal. So I got success on Australasian emergency care. When I respond to the reviewer, I followed the 2-column format. One is comments from the reviewer, what I received comments from the reviewer. Then what I did, revision, I highlighted with yellow color, I indicated the page number 2. This is essential if we are going to respond to your comments, and we did not accept that comment, and we did not revise based on that, we could not be able to success what I learned from this publication too. And it is most important to respond to the reviewer comments, and the lesson is publication that we need to have support from trusting relationship and communications with supervisor, and we need to be patient because we know that great things do not happen overnight, so that we have to wait for a while. I had to wait for 6 months to set paper with that journal. And another, we have to be humble. We need to have, we cannot all alone, so that we need to have a team effort. And Ajahn Praneed always helped me to guide to direct in the right direction. And one is to follow at first I made a lot of mistakes because I did not do language editing, and even though I followed the guidelines of the journal, but I did not do English editing. So I made a lot of comments on English editing, so that if we want to publish the ISI journal, we have to have international readership that do English editing at first. And another one is we have to select the most appropriate journal, and we need to have commitment and dedication. If we want to publish in time, we have to respond to the comments of the editor in time, and we have to submit in time, so that we can get feedback in time and we can publish quickly. Another one is put a strong village together, and the village means, in terms of me, I have 3 groups. One group is my mentors, my supervisor, and my lecturers. And another group is my family and my friends. And another group is my emerging mentorship. So that through that village, I could be able to succeed to publish in ISI or Scopus-based journal. And another one is we need to have patience and to believe in ourselves. And we need to effectively and genuine response to reviewers' comments. What I learned from reviewers, these are the lessons learned from my publication. While I did systematic review, I have a lot of questions. Why I want to do systematic review? Because I want to do synthesis of the research findings from many studies in a single document. rigorous and transparent methods. So I used PRISMA guidelines. I read PRISMA guidelines, I read JVI guidelines. So, and I choose the PRISMA guidelines to publish my paper. And my aim is to synthesize, summarize the existing knowledge and to uncover all of the evidence relevant to our questions. Then I review, analyze, appraise, and synthesize. Then I developed the systematic review protocol with the guidance of my Ajahn Dr. Praneed. We have at least 2 reviewers to conduct a systematic review. Then we have to explore our context and rationale for the review. Then we proceed to what is already known and what is uncertain. Based on that, we develop a study selection criteria, we develop outcome methods, and we develop comparisons. And we propose about the studies for identifying the relevant studies too. Then we develop a procedures for study selection. We have a 3-phase procedures. First, we develop a keywords. Then we source the literatures in different databases. Then we stored, and finally we selected some articles based on our eligibility criteria. Then we did critical appraisals process, and we extracted data in tabular form. And we had to develop a process for resolving disagreement. We selected articles independently. There is sometimes there is some disagreement, so that we have the plan how to resolve that disagreements between 2 reviewers based on study selections, based on data extraction, and based on critical appraisals, so that we can synthesize our findings. Then we have to have a clear descriptive title. It should be self-explanatory, and we should have inquiry questions based on ECO or PECO or PEO lens. And I asked myself, why do I need to do systematic review? Based on that answer, I proceed to write a systematic review articles. I develop rationale because there is no recently published systematic reviews on the same topic. Then I proceed. Is the date of last update longer than 3 years ago? I searched based on my title and I found no. Is it a high quality, well-conducted systematic review? So I need to form this on. I need to develop the quality of my writing. So I followed every protocols that have been mentioned by PRISMA guidelines. And do the methods reflect the specific criteria for interest for your topic? And is there a specific gap in terms of population? I followed that one, and I plan to use a different methods of searching the critical appraisals and synthesis. Then I got answered there is no research that have been mentioned on resilience among elderly experiencing disaster or systematic review. So I proceed on manuscript writing and I got a success. These are the background sections which I incorporated into my writing. Importance of the topic, concerns expressed by the healthcare professionals, policymakers, specific of diverse group of population, intervention of interest and how it works. I followed like that. And I reviewed a lot regarding uncertainties, conflicting reports regarding effectiveness of my topic of interest, and I followed importance of outcomes and how outcomes are measured, approaches, measurement, and instruments. Then I also included the different research study design, existing primary research studies, and what is already known, and about existing systematic review, meta-analysis, etc. And how I determine the keywords for searching. I use medical subject heading 2019 thesaurus. Here I mentioned 2020 thesaurus, and I type or resilience, and then I got many words related to resilience, and based on that, I used the keywords. And another one is you can also found the ProQuest thesaurus, and I typed natural disaster. And I found many keywords related to it, and I developed the keywords on it. And we followed methods, Prisma flow diagram, based on Ajahn suggestions and based on my review. I followed Prisma flow diagram. Then I followed data searching strategies. I followed eligibility criteria, study selections, quality assessment and analysis, data extractions, data synthesis. And we have many guidelines that we can proceed on systematic review. We have Prisma guidelines, we have Cochrane review guidelines, we have API guidelines. So we have to select one. So what I learned from my writing, previously when I firstly submitted my systematic review articles, I followed the study selection, but I used the quality appraisal of another guidelines. So you commented me on that, and I followed the concurrent writing style based on the only on systematic review guidelines. Then what I learned from my submission, that if we are planning to write a paper on systematic review, there is on register a review, that is Prospero. If we are planning to write a review paper, we have to register our review in Prospero. Luckily, I did not register in Prospero. Luckily, I submit to publish that paper because no one has been involved to write a systematic review paper on resilience among older adults experiencing disaster, so that I could be able to success. If we could not start a review on Prospero, there is another author who is also interested on writing a same paper. It is difficult to publish our paper, so that there is a waste of time. So we have to register in Prospero. And we have selected many types of studies, inclusive approach, valuable insights, agreement and disagreement of the results from different study design. And we specify the details line by line, all the details of the proposed search strategies. And we develop a time frame for search, and we develop language restriction because we are not familiar with many languages. So we develop language restrictions in English language only. And we also restrict the date because we want review articles that is based on 21st century. So we also set the date restriction, and we also have to have the appropriate justification. And previously, when I submitted my paper, I did not disclose my appropriate justifications based on date and language restrictions. So reviewer commented me on that, and I learned that we need to have appropriate justification while we writing a paper. And we have many databases, and the most common databases in medical science, medical and nursing science is ProQuest, Science Direct, Scopus, OBIT, and Sinhal, as well as BMC Journal Online, and the Cochrane's library you can use. And we also have the regional indexes. And we can find our articles based on advanced and basic sources, to set limits. Then we will find the value of result. We have to select those articles that is relevant to our concept of interest. And another one is we have to set the quality appraisal guidelines for selecting a study. So I selected a CAMET et al. 2004 guidelines for the quality of appraisal of my studies. And I try to resolve this agreement between us, and we did risk bias analysis based on methodological quality. And finally, we selected 5 studies only. And the reviewer commented us, if you selected only 5 studies, how can you justify it is systematic review? And we got puzzled when we received that feedback and how to respond to the reviewer. And we try to find the literatures on that. And can we justify systematic review with only 5 articles? And we found evidence, and we disclosed that evidence to the reviewers. After that, we could be able to succeed to publish our systematic review article with only 5 articles. And this on the phase of study selection. Phase 1, peer body selection and finalized keywords. Phase 2, independent selection of articles with peer body and data storage. Identification of duplicated articles. Use Mendeley reference software to identify to store articles and to identify articles. And with peer body about the selected articles, then we combine together and we assess quality and relevance. In this part, we reviewed all the differences for the possibility of additional articles. Then we develop a data extraction table based on publication time, participant settings, outcome measures, study design, statistical analysis, and results. Then we develop the table like that. And we also use the level of evidence because it is the most important to reference as a level of evidence. We use our 2009 guidelines for labeling the selected studies in our magazine. Then what I learned from the mistakes. Previously, when I developed the guideline, I developed like that. And we can see at last studies included qualitative analysis, and reviewers scrutinize our minor mistakes that I use this included in analysis and studies included in qualitative analysis. But we compile together qualitative as well as quantitative analysis. So based on reviewers' feedback, I developed studies included in qualitative analysis. Previously, I used Arrow, and then based on reviewer comments, we used studies included in quantitative analysis. We add. So based on reviewers' feedback, also we can learn many things. So we do not hesitate to submit our report, our manuscript to the international journal, because if we could not be able to get success in one journal, we can submit to another journal based on the comments of editors as well as reviewers. So we should always have a patience and passion. And there is a lot of guidelines to do quality appraisals. This is the quality appraisal guidelines based on JBI. We can search in internet websites also. And in result, we have mentioned study inclusion, methodological quality, characteristics of included studies, result, and result. We did not do meta-analysis because we also included qualitative studies also. And in result, we also main objectives, we focus on PEO guidelines. And based on our review, we formulate a concept map, what we want to disclose to the international readers. So we develop a common theme based on many papers. We develop the definition of resilience. We develop a settings, samples, type of disaster, data collection techniques of extracted articles, and extracted factor enhancing resilience. We develop this concept map, and based on that map, we proceed to write a manuscript. And in discussion, we briefly summarize the main findings, and we discuss this result with previously written systematic review articles and other literature review also. And based on that we have to be aware of overestimated conclusion. When we first submitted our manuscript, we also received comment from the reviewers that your conclusion is overestimated. So revise that conclusion. These are the Prisma checklist guidelines. Before we are planning to submit our manuscript, systematic review articles, we have to follow these guidelines, and we have to check list to revise all checklist items before proceeding to submission. And thank you very much. The price of success is hard work, dedication to the task at hand, and determination that whether we win or lose, we have applied the best of ourselves to the task at hand. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very much, Reka, for your sharing. Nicely work, and then maybe work hard, right, in your publications. By the way, I would like to know more about what the specific topic actually that you done for the systematic review, because I cannot see before.
Go back to my slide. Let's go back to my slide.
Agenda slide.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
Oh, okay. Could you stop first, Reka, for your presentation? Yes.
I'm trying.
Yes. Just stop share from the upset. You can see from your up button up your computer.
Stop sharing. Yeah.
Could you find it?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Thank you. Okay, so slides. This one, Ajan?
No. In my PowerPoint. Yeah. Go to okay. Go to another
slide.
Next. I just skip.
Here?
Okay. Go to another. Next one.
Next
one. Okay, this one.
Okay.
The other one. Previous one.
Previous one. This one.
This one her paper.
Okay.
Looking at the factor enhancing resilience among older adults experiencing disaster. Okay, this paper already published, so you can look at this paper on website. Okay, can access to. Yeah.
This talking about disaster, right, Ajan? How the people,
older adult, yeah. For older
actually that for the study of Reka conduct in Nepal about the disaster.
Yeah. Right now she conduct her study in Nepal, but before that she did the seismic review first.
Yes, okay. So Reka, in terms of the methodology, is the qualitative or quantitative one, Ajan?
Reka.
Oh, maybe some of the signal of the Rika is but I can guess this one is maybe mixed method, something like that. Ajahn?
Excuse me.
Yes, Rika, excuse me. In terms of your methodology in your study before you are conductor for the this one for publications, systematic review, actually that you have the methodology of the quantitative or qualitative study?
Actually, I'm planning to do quantitative studies. My methodology is path analysis. And before proceeding to path analysis, I have to select factors, so that I did systematic review at first to highlight the factors that can be included in the model that are planning to develop into my study. So I did this systematic review, and I selected both qualitative as well as quantitative articles in this review.
Ah, very good. You do the pet analysis. This is a good one methodology, I think so. So maybe some students, master students, or any lecturers want to know more about the pet analysis, but we can go another sessions later on. Ajahn Praneed, so you would like to continue your presence for the next part?
Ajahn still mute the mic.
Ah, Ajahn. Excuse me, Ajahn. You're still mute.
Yes,
Okay.
yes, okay.
Okay. Do you would like to continue, Ajahn, for the
Yes,
slide?
go back to the slide that on.
Okay.
Yeah.
This one. Okay.
Actually, Reka already said about this. Okay, the reviewing process, because in terms of maybe just one more slide previously.
Okay, previously.
Yes. Before this one. No. Before this one. It's on editing.
Yes.
Editing. This one, I think is important for our, international student, or for the we are not English the first language English speaker, so that's why we need someone to help for editing. So in terms of editing, if you want to edit both content and English, so you need some English teacher or English editor that can help you both. So here that's why sometimes we find some very difficult to find a person to have both, okay, for editing. However, right now in some journal they also offer the for editing. The process in some journal, so you can apply to that journal too, okay, because they have the company that attack with the some company that they help to look at the editing paper that for the publication, okay. But I think it has had to pay I think, but I don't know how much. But that one is the alternative or the choice for you if you have some funding to support, so you can look at that alternative way, okay. But it really helpful for the journal, because it offered by the journal. All right, yeah. And for us, right now, so when we edit and revising before submission, okay, we need to recheck and check for everything. But the important thing, the technical oral or the reference or the format, you should really strict to the guideline, okay, the journal guideline. Very important, because some journal, some editor, when they look at, because I found one experience that it's long time already, when we do not concentrate much on this, so you got a feedback like rejection because automatically, you know, automatically. Yeah. So that's why it's important. If you think that you take a terms and you look at again, so it should be fixed before you submission. Okay. And another thing that I found that if you leave when you finish your manuscript and you think you are ready to submit, if you have time, a few days, you just leave it for a while and then come back to read it. I think it's very helpful because sometimes it like you refresh it again and you read as an external reviewer. So it found something that you can check whether that okay, some sentence it might not be a good one, so you can revise and then you feel more confident to do so. Okay. And last thing that okay, you have to prepare okay the file cover letter and the checklist of attached file. I mean, some journal they provide a checklist for you that you already have this. Okay, you have to check whether you have done already. Okay, before or maybe if you are going to submit and you learn from the process of submission, you can see that some journal they provide a guideline or checklist for you that you already done or not. Okay, so there are two ways before or maybe you submit on the process of submission. Okay, so next slide please. All right, these are the essential file I think to be ready for submission. At least you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, because some journal, some topic that you write it out, no table, without table, especially for qualitative one. Okay, or no figure one, so you can you just only have cover letter, title page, authorship declaration, abstract, and final main text. Okay, you have 5 parts, right? If you do qualitative, only 5 parts, I think. But some, they might have some table, okay, or some figure to show that overall is okay. It depends on how much the content you are going to present in that paper, all right? And some journal, they like to add some, ask you to add some additional, or maybe you need additional to submit because some journal that I found that, for example, in terms of quantitative, okay, quantitative right now research, they like to look at your, to check the number. So they like you to submit the data analysis file, okay, some journal, they're looking at that one because they like to check some point in terms of reliability of that statistic. Okay, but it depends on that journal. All right. I found something that if you write and your co-author as a famous person, so it means like you have some credit, you know, and then the journal more likely to accept. Okay, that is my experience as well. Yeah. Okay, next one. This is under the reviewing process, like Leka said, maybe it take a long time, okay? But I think for the Reka one that is really fast already. 1 month only you get a response, okay? 1 month only. Normally sometimes by average 3 months, okay? But 1 month I think is very quick for the journal. For this is a good response, okay? And then you wait for a while, and this is the and then this one is just like the level of the decision that they make for you. Whatever you have, okay, whatever you got the response, so just continue your I mean your commitment, okay. If you like to have it public, so you need to stay on how to make it better, okay. Not just feel sad or feel unhappy to have this response, because every time I got the response or feedback or comment, we learn more and more. That is my experience. Okay, we learn more and more, and then we found that that is the way in which it like a by indirectly way that we learn from the editor, as well as that we learn not only from ourselves among ourselves. Okay, we learn from external reviewer. Okay, and we also learn about how to make what we call argument or respond to that the reviewer. Okay, because sometimes that how to answer that question, how to make an argument with that question. If we are right, okay, if we are right, we have to convince, we have to defend with some supporting data. Okay, not by feeling but supporting data. Okay, so when the people get the revision, so you need to be punctual on time when you get the rewrite. Okay, when they will give you the time, maybe 1 month, 2 months. It depends on the how much that you have to rewrite. Okay, but the editor, when they get feedback to you, they will write it down. Okay, you have to rewrite it within this time. Okay, this means you have to be on time, not delay. Okay, because you know under the publishing process they have priority. They already have the list of paper, okay, to be published. So if you are on time, so they are going to publish in that quickly. Okay, yes, next slide please. Okay, that what we already have to be patient. Okay, every time we can do another thing else. We can do the second paper publication if they accept. Okay, like Leka say, point to point. Okay, to get the feedback. Okay, to answer. If they are reject, if they reject, so just if you want to know why they reject, so you can write a letter to ask editor. Sometimes the editor reject, they just put the short sentence. Okay, that we know maybe it's not the right, it's not the right track on that journal. So they will just answer the short one. But if they without answer, so you need to, you can write back and ask them what and why. And normally now I found that many editor, many journal, when you got the rejection, they will look at the like a suggest some option for you. Okay, normally they do that. That's a good editor. They will provide some more information and option for you. Okay, for the good journal and editor. Okay, that's what I say. When you resubmit, you have to be punctual. Okay, you have to learn this how to be punctual. Okay, otherwise that it have some aspect. Okay, so next slide. This is all my lesson learned that when I make my own publication and learn with other colleagues when we publish together, we think using this I mean it's like an acronym that I made it by myself. Strive for success. Every time when you do the research or every time when you publication, I think everyone need to use this some strategy. Okay, the first one I think I learned that we work as a team. Okay, you have to look at okay from the research that I say proposal to the publication. Okay, under the proposal, okay, you have to work as a team, right? Whatever how many people in the team, okay, the teamwork here is the main, and then you can collaborate with other. Now, other, it's not by co-author, it's okay, but you are going to work with them because something that you can learn more, okay? And the second one is for responsibility of yourself and your commitment. Sometimes we feel, I also feel like that, you know, before that I in the past when I work and we found some rejection, I also feel so sad and so bad too. But if we consult with someone who are more expert, and then they can give us some response. So it will helpful to make and try another journal, and then you can work and continue, and then until one day you did, and then you will feel very proud that you 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 just overcome by yourself, and also you can work and continue the next step. Okay, and I like to tell you about the A here, because the strategic, the R and A, accumulative idea and assessment. This one is like I think for publication, like your title, you put on running to publication. I think not running, but accumulation of the idea to have the publication. I think it's important. When you are going to, when you fail with some the first time, it means you accumulate some idea. You collect some idea how to make it better, right? So we learn from the past. It doesn't mean that you fail everything, okay? You are going to think positive, and when you accumulate yourself, the idea that you gain, and you have to reassessment for yourself so that you can make better, okay? And time management, I think is important, okay? Everyone say that time management, because we cannot say that, oh no time, because we have 24 hours, the same 24 hours, but how we can make it benefit to the time, all right? And strive for success, I think we should empower among ourselves and empower of the team, and to write in effective way to need more, seek more attention from the external reviewer, or even though you may learn with the advisor, supervisor, or your mentor, okay? For the new researcher, for the new writer, I think it needs some mentor if you want to make a publication at international level, okay? Yeah, will help you a lot, speed up yourself, okay? And work with guidance, okay? The best guidance is guidance from all from the journal, right? You have to understand the guidance, the guide for order, okay? And that is a good guide for you. And the checklist from the many checklists related to methodology, okay? You have to gather this, and then you will feel more confident, okay? And the support, okay? The support here, I mean that not only from internal support, but the support here, not only the person, but for the system of the support. I just thinking in the university or my many faculty right now, you have to think about system, how to support each other to make successful in terms of publication too. Okay, not only just give you some grant and then some fee for your pay chart, but along the process of writing, I think is important. Lastly, about communication and coordination, you can share with your friend. It's sometimes that during the sharing, so you can get some idea and learn how to work, and then gain success in terms of writing a paper. Okay, coordinate with some other organization so you can have learn more. All right, so I think next one is about sharing. Okay, sharing. This is me already ask the Lega share for you, and there are one exercise for you if you have time. Okay, you can learn from the paper. I ask this question in that exercise for you. When you read of the paper, assume that you are the co-author. What would you suggest? And assume that if you are the reviewer or editor, how will you consider, accept or reject, and why? Okay, you can use your own paper and you share with your friend, or your friend, you can learn from your friend. When you have like this, learn each other. You can see that if you are the co-author, when you read the draft paper from your friend, okay, and you can when you read and you can if any suggestion, so you can learn more. Okay, why you suggest on it is based on what? Okay, so you have to share with your friend like this. So it will be very helpful to increase the knowledge as well as the some skill of publication. Okay, actually I have two paper for you. I know the one that the paper that already submit, and then we found that if you are the co-author or if you are the reviewer, so how would you consider of that the paper, maybe accept or reject, and why? Okay, you can look at the paper and you can or maybe you can look at your own friend paper, okay, and you help each other like that. Okay, if you want to learn more after this session. All right, I think maybe get to the end. Yes, for the next slide at the end.
At the end, okay, right,
Yes,
here.
because the exercise here, I give the paper for the student. So if the student want to look at it, so you can share. All right. I just want to encourage you. Okay. You see that we have many steps. Sometimes when you want to be here, I can do it, but you have to start. Sometimes if you do not try it, so maybe you just still on this step, right? When you try and you finish, you can do it. And when it public, I did. Okay, you can have a champagne or whatever that you are going to have. All right. So we just convince you that you have to plan for today. What are you going to write now? Or maybe if you cannot think about today, maybe tomorrow or beyond. But you can continue thinking of how to write it out from your own work, from your own on your own report or your job or whatever that you have done, okay, based on your data, okay, or based on your experience that you work in the clinic. So you have to think about that, okay. And I like to announce you, okay, on the 9th of March, we are going to bring together to meet editor, okay, like she will give you some trick and trip for you to have an international as a editor and also the reviewer. Okay, her name is Dr. Somjit. She already accept this and she will join with our conference. But normally this conference will be held on 8 to 9, but in Thai version, okay, not international. But in this on March, on this session, the last session, I put in terms of international. Yeah, yeah. So you can I will email you again. All right. Or
Okay.
anyone want to ask now?
Yes. Okay. Some person already would like to ask Ajahn about the running to publications. First, I would like to invite master students. Muhammad Rido, could you open your camera? Muhammad Rido, do you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay, you can go directly to Ajahn Praneed, one of my master students, Ajahn. Yes, please.
Welcome, welcome.
Good morning, Azan. Miss Azan, I am Muhammad Rido, master student of nursing University Bonegoro. I have question.
Yes.
For qualitative research of publication to be accepted in international journal, is there requirement of the number of participants? If there are participant requirement, but how many participants can be used to be accepted in the international journal? Thank you.
Okay, you mean in terms qualitative research, right?
Okay.
Okay. Actually, the number, okay, based on my experience when we write it out for qualitative part, the number is not important than your data. if you got rich data, you know, I just have one of my friends just submit the paper, only one case study. Okay, but the way in which you write, you have to write it out as show up the like this case study can help the audience to learn something. Okay, it doesn't speak
Itu termasuk kok jumpa.
hello.
Excuse me, Bu
Can you ask?
Mega. Aku you. Okay.
Because it
Yes,
has
Ajan.
annoying voice. Okay. So the number of the participant is based on your research methodology. Because in terms of qualitative study, there are many, discipline, right? You have descriptive qualitative study, you have grounded theory, you have ethnographic study, you have phenomenology, you have what else? Action research. Okay, whatever you did, okay, it's based on your background. That one, okay. Participant, which type of participant you are going to make it. Right now, I just recently helped my student, they do ethnographic study. Okay, based on ethnographic study, actually, it related to what? Observation mainly. Okay, but observation sometimes is not related to the participant, but we are going to write it out. What did we find from observation? Okay, right? What are the particular culture that you found from that participant and environment? Okay, not the number of the participant. Okay, we just use the number by interview, just back up your observation.
Okay. Rijo. Okay.
Thanks,
Rijo.
Miss.
Yes.
Terima
Okay.
kasih.
Thank you very much, Rijo.
Thank you.
Another question, Ajan, from the lectures. Miss Nana Rohana. Yes, please.
Okay, thank you, Bu Titin. Good afternoon, Professor Praneed.
Yes.
Warm greeting from here. Actually, I am also from the emergency nursing. My interest is in emergency. I would like to and thank you for your very detailed and informative sharing here about how to write, how to publish our paper, our research paper in international journal. I would like to ask maybe some question to both maybe Prof. Praneed and also Mrs. Rekha here. Thanks also for your nice sharing here. Actually, if we, I want to ask, for example, we have some papers, maybe, for example, two papers. One of them is having a good, new idea. It is very interesting topic, and the other one has a good design. So which one is having the higher chance to be accepted in the reputed international journal? That's my first question. And the second question is, I know that we are facing the most difficult situation as the researcher here is the time to manage the time to write the good paper. So maybe you can share your experience. How did you manage your time? Maybe you spend your own time, how long and how we deal, because we know that as a lecturer we also have the other additional roles here. And for Mrs. Rekha, can I ask all, Bu Titin?
Yes, please do it.
And for Mrs. Rekha, that's very nice sharing that, and I also quite surprised that you with I mean you have a systematic review. That's a good one. With three papers, three articles. Sorry, 5 articles. Combine the qualitative and quantitative one, and that's out of the expectation because okay, maybe many knows that the systematic review that is accepted in the international journal, probably they need more. I mean, many articles to be reviewed in the systematic paper. But your paper, I think that's a good one because though you only have 5 papers, yeah, you can be accepted in the ISI journals, and maybe that's I mean that is proof that proof that it's not only I mean the good systematic review does not always require many articles, but how we do the review itself, I think. Okay, thank you, Buditin.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you, Gunana. Okay, Ajahn, so you can first to questions
Okay.
and then Reka.
Okay. Based on your first question about that, if you have two different, I mean, in terms that paper that about high, a good methodology, right? Or well designed, and another one is about the topic, right? The content. Okay. I think you can write it out, both of them. Okay, both of them you can write, but you have to select the journal that match with you. If you think that it's a well-designed, whatever topic, because some journal, they are rigorous in terms of the design. You know, for example, like if in terms qualitative health research, they are very rigorous in terms of the design. Whatever topic they can write, you can submit. Okay? Yeah.
Okay.
And if you think this topic is very challenging and then very good in terms of the issue that you are going to publish and make known to the audience, so you have to maybe specific find some journal that's specific to that topic. It will be highly accepted. Okay. And the second one is a tough one because the way in which that I think I have no answer, no good answer for you for that, how we can make the time. We know that every Ajahn here also the same, every university, okay? They have to work, and then many teaching, right? Many clinic. I think in your country, I think it's good because sometimes you did not go to the clinic, right? Not to work hospital, right? But here we have to work in hospital too. See students in the hospital too. We have some limit of time, but however, it depends on how do you schedule the time, okay? Because you have to have what we call make a time frame of your work, because you can adjust, right? You know that you have the clinic this time, teaching, overload on teaching, but at the same time you must have some, in the I learned this when I was in the I joined with the group, the professor group. They all are becoming the professor now, but I learned from them that they ask one question. Okay, for me, the teacher asked me, can you put on your diary? Can you show me your diary? I show them about my diary. Okay. And you look at your diary. Do you have diary and you write it? What is your time for yourself? The time for yourself in diary. I say, oh, nothing, because my diary is just appointment with other people.
All right. Okay.
But not time for myself. you know. So I
Okay.
just
Yeah.
realized that, oh, it's
Oh.
correct. So I need to rearrange my schedule now or my diary. So I have to put it in my diary too, my time. Okay, maybe 1 to 2 hours, something like that. My time is here. So you need to pick your time too as an important time for you too. Okay?
Okay.
And,
Okay. Nice suggestion. Yes. Okay.
okay?
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Sometimes we should be selfish. Yeah. That's for for our business. Yeah. Sometimes we
Yeah,
need to
yeah,
be
yeah.
selfish.
Yes,
Prof.
yes.
Praneed. Okay. All right. Maybe should we take a leave? Maybe sometimes some researcher and lecturer, they have their own. I mean, leave to do like research and then writing a paper for publication. Do you have that in
Yes,
Thailand?
yes. We have that. That's just for the we call sabbatical leave. That we have a
Mm-hmm.
long time, like a 6 months or throughout a year. It depends on your type of work, okay? But they have the committee to give the permission. You have to propose this project or proposal, okay, and submit, okay. But not everyone can get because they have to schedule for the people for all, okay.
Okay. Okay. Okay. Thank you, Prof. Praneed.
Yes, so thank you, Ajahn Praneed, for your nicely suggestions to us. Actually, this is the way that we are as lecturers, so many jobs here also in Thailand. Okay, Reka, could you say more about what my friend asked about your work? Yes, please.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you, dear Nana, for your
Yeah.
interesting questions. And we also got confused when we received feedback from the reviewers. How could you justify with only 5 articles
Oh.
as a systematic review? So that we got puzzled. How could we answer to the reviewers' comments? Then we saw
Mm-hmm.
the evidence. Is there any evidence that can justify only 5 articles can include in systematic review? So we
Yes.
solved the evidence and we found on evidence in not like a strong evidence, but just like a blog in ResearchGate. We found an evidence of Songwathana F 2015. The author mentioned that what is the minimum number of studies to be included in systematic review. And the author discussed that even though we have only on articles or only on the story, we can discuss as a systematic review. So we included that reference in our systematic review. We could be able to justify, even though we have 5 articles, we can say systematic review. Actually, this review has been written as coursework as in our independent study. And when I submitted the report to my Ajahn, and Ajahn suggested me to write a manuscript to submit to the international journal, and we try to gather information more and more to publish in this form. Thank you so much.
Okay, that's amazing. Thank you,
Yes,
Reka. Yeah.
yes,
Thank you
So
so
the
much.
point is, we have a justification for every. I mean, the weakness. I mean, the comments for from the reviewer. We can answer it. That's the
Yes,
point, right? Okay.
yes.
Okay. And sometimes have you met the maybe sometimes the reviewer asks about something, and you think that okay, I don't accept the suggestion, and how do you respond to that comment? For example, oh, I think because we are as researcher, we know how well our study, and we can explain that, or maybe that their opinion is not really appropriate with my study, and how we refuse their comment, or we should just accept all their comments, or how.
Thank you so much. When we receive comment, we thought that why reviewers commented like that. I also felt like that, and I discussed with my Ajan. Ajan, how could I justify this comment? And Ajan suggested me, whatever you thought, just write. And just like that, I try to source the evidence. Recently, we also got comment on difference between integrative review and systematic review. And we try to identify the evidence, and we found that we can include qualitative as well as quantitative reviews in integrative review too. But reviewer asked me, how could you justify you only included quantitative articles in your review, but you want to justify as an integrative review? How could you justify? Reviewer asked us, and then we searched the evidence, and we submitted that evidence to the reviewers, so that we are hopeful reviewers will get what we write as an integrative review or systematic review. It depends upon our response and upon our evidence to support that comments. If you feel that you are okay in your writing, you have to submit your evidence to support your writing, just like.
Okay. Thank you, Reka.
Okay, thank you, Reka. Nicely sharing about the work, right? I just remember when I'm PhD. Yeah. Okay. Dr. Mega would like to ask also, Ajahn. Okay, Dr. Mega, you can ask a question or some of sharing of your works.
Okay, thank you, Bu Titin. Ajahn Praneed, I would like to ask about the writing abstract. Actually, even though I'm not your advisee when my study, but I learned.
No worry.
Yeah. But I learned some Ajahn comment. Particularly at that time, I read Ajahn comment on Yeni's abstract. Yeni go back to Ajahn several times to revise her abstract. So one thing that I learned in writing the background, we should write the gap of the study, because as Ajahn mentioned in the background, we have to write why we write this manuscript like that. But is it one of compulsory, or we should do that? Because when I read some abstract, not all of the abstract write down the gap of the study.
Yeah.
And then I would like to ask about the how to write the conclusion in abstract, because sometimes it's difficult because sometimes we like make redundant between the result and the conclusion, particularly in the qualitative study, because we write the themes again. Maybe Ajahn have suggestion how to write conclusions. Yeah, I have two questions like that. Thank you.
Okay. The first question is about the background. Do we need to write the background in the abstract, right? Yeah. Okay. Actually, this one you have to learn from the format of the journal. The style, there are different styles. Some journal, they need the background, just 1 or 2 sentences, not many. Okay, it's not like a thesis. Okay, you can write more than 3 sentences, but it's too long. They just want to know why this study is impact to the public, thing like that. Okay, so you need to write out that why it's important. Okay, and based on the finding and conclusion. So when you want to write a conclusion, for based on qualitative, you need to look back, like Ajahn said, that significance of the problem, okay, the gap of knowledge, okay, what is the gap of knowledge, and the finding come up, you just pay attention on that point. You found it already, okay, or what is the new knowledge that you learn, okay, no need to repeat the result, you just interpret the meaning from the result. What is the conclusion? Okay, the main conclusion based on what? You can check with your research question, check with the objective, main objective, okay? And you just conclude that one, okay?
Okay, thank you. Very clear, Ajan. Thank you so much.
Okay. Thank you very much, Dr. Mega. Actually, some questions also has Ajan here, but already, I think that Ajan, when Ajan explained some questions, is already find the answer. So I think this sessions is almost 12. I think no questions more about
Yes.
these ones. Yes, and then for the exercise, I will share to participants in,
Yes.
so they can learn by own self
Right.
about how they can run the publications. If the any other questions more, you can maybe can email Azan Praneed, right? And so
Yes,
I can yes, and then I hope so that I can share email Azan to participants if there are many questions more, and then can talk with Ajahn Praneed directly.
Okay, very welcome.
Yes. And thank you very much to Rekha too that share this your experience, this very wonderful work. And then next time we can also have the publications together between Indonesia, Nepal, and Thailand. I think so, right, Ajahn?
Yeah.
Thinking about disaster
You
topic.
also can learn from the
Yes.
exercise. Yeah, we
Yes,
have the publication Thailand, Indonesia, China, and Vietnam.
Yes, right. Yes, mainly for the Asian country.
Yes.
Yeah.
I
Also,
have one question, I think.
pardon,
Would
Ajahn?
like to say something?
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Anybody would like to say something? Would like to
Yes.
speak? Yes, Reka, sila. Okay, Reka.
Ajan, may I share something, Ajan?
Yes.
Ajan suggested that how to identify the ISI-based journal. I want to emphasize that we have to go through Web of Science. If we found our journal in Web of Science, that means that it is the ISI-based journal.
Yeah.
Because previously, ISI means Institute for Scientific Information. Previously, it has been under the Thomson Reuters, but it has been sold now to Covariate Analytics, so that if we want to identify either it is ISI-based journal or other journal, we have to go through Web of Science. If we found our journal in Web of Science, it is under ISI.
Yeah.
And another one is if we developed our manuscript and we are confused which journal is best to submit our articles, we have to go through the links that have been provided by Ajan, the 4 links. We have to submit our title of our manuscript as well as our abstract. Then that link will provide us an information regarding the possibility of the journal that can we submit our manuscript.
Yeah.
So we have to focus on that.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Okay, good suggestion, because actually through that, so we can have match the paper with the journal, right? Easily. Okay. Yeah, you have many choice.
Yes, many choice, right? You can use the ISI, Scopus, and also STI Mega, right? And then so we can match some our topic in the journal. Yes.
Right.
Okay, I think that's all. Azam, Praneed, and Rekha. Thank you very much for your nice session sharing and the experience, also some knowledge about the publications. For next times, I would like to give the times to Mrs. Dian to have the closing ceremony. Mrs. Dian, yes, please. Thank you very much, Azam, Praneed, and Rekha.
And thank you for you, and thank you everyone too, especially Rekha. Okay, she's one of my distinguished students. Next time maybe we learn about the factor analysis. Okay,
yes,
after
right,
Rekha, we put on the result part.
Okay, 6. Okay, Ajahn, right. Okay, Mrs. Dian, please.
Okay, is it my sound clear?
Yes.
Yes, okay. Well, I think the material is very good, so and very complete, yeah. So we have a clear description how to publish research. So we have already learned a lot today, I think. We learned about the significance of writing. We learned about finding topics to be attractive. And Ajahn Praneed also saw us how to select Scopus journal and some useful journal finder links. Yeah, I think this is important. Yeah, we learn also how to write literature, writing a case study, writing a research paper, principle of writing an abstract. And what is also important is about review process and response of the research. Yeah, this is very important, I think. We have also material about reflection on of learning from systematic review and publication from Reka. Thank you, Reka, for sharing your experience. I believe it's also valuable to us. Make sure that all of you can review this material that is very good, yeah, so that you can try to begin to write and publish a good research. I believe the committee will share the material. And just like I said, we have also recording version of this virtual general lecture. The committee will also share the link. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we now come to the end of the second series of virtual general lecture with the theme Running to Publication to Increase the Body of Knowledge, hosted by Nursing Department Faculty of Medicine, Universitas Diponegoro. On behalf of the host and the committee, we would like to extend once again our deepest appreciation to you all, to your participant. We give our special appreciation also to Dr. Praneed Songwathana. Thank you very much for your extended knowledge about research publication in today's virtual general lecture. Hope that we can meet again, maybe not just in this virtual meeting. If you're willing to come to Indonesia, especially to Semarang City, we will very welcome because so many alumni, I think, from Prince of Songla University and in Indonesia, in Universitas Diponegoro as well. So you can have reunion maybe. Yes, well, ladies and gentlemen, we wish you all safe and healthy with new normal. Thank you and good noon, everyone. Marilah kita akhiri acara kita pada hari ini dengan membaca hamdalah bersama. Alhamdulillahirabbil alamin. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.